60 CEOs from Arizona's top businesses sent a letter to the Arizona legislature this past March, asking them to please stop regulating this idea of immigration without a real reform in mind.
I'm proud of my record. I'm very proud of my record.
My solemn declaration to you is that our students cannot wait another year for schools to improve. We need educational leadership now.
But the point is, we're raising kids today that don't know how to pull the rope on a Briggs and Stratton engine.
Our economy cannot wait another year to be fixed. Mesa needs 30 years of private sector experience now.
We're doing everything right from jobs to safe neighborhoods.
Our unemployment and unemployed cannot wait another year for jobs. They need their jobs now.
Just like a family, Arizona suffers from a great reputation, not a bad reputation.
I want to know, when you go to office, what is the first bill you're going to drop in the hopper? What will it do?
Well, one of the first bills I want to look at is to end the ability for lobbyists or other special interest groups to be able to give gifts that the voters don't get to legislatures. I think it's scandalous that we could take gifts from organizations upon whom we're going to pass legislation. It doesn't cut the smell test. Okay, there's a conflict of interest there. There's an independence issue that we can't have. The voters have to be confident that their legislators are representing their interests. Okay, that they're not trying to build a name for themselves. That they are truly representing them. I believe that I will do that with these bills and instill confidence in the voters to know that I want what's best for them, not what's best for me.
Do you think that Mr. Pearce did wrong then to accept the Fiesta Bowl trips?
Well, accepting them and then not reporting them, okay, you're supposed to report those kinds of gifts.
They're accusing you of having leftist views.
Well, that's interesting. I'm accused of a lot of things these days that I never knew. I'm accused of being aligned with people that I've never even heard of. When I look at Dee Montague and others who asked me to run, they're very, very conservative. They love the Constitution. They believe it's a divinely inspired document. Okay, I am in the same boat. The fact that I listen to people and try to get all sides of an issue before I make a decision, if that's liberal thinking, then we need to tell Abraham Lincoln and Ronald Reagan the same thing. Okay, since when did the Republican Party become the party of narrow-mindedness? We need to understand what people want, why they think the way they think, bring them to the table and work on issues. We can't let slogans determine how we're going to legislate our state and our nation. We have to come up with real solutions, and I believe we do that by being open-minded. If that's liberal, well then, you know, I think the Republican Party has moved far away from the Republican Party that I've known and loved all my life.
Real quickly, your comments about Olivia Cortez dropping out of the race.
You know what? I haven't been following that much. Seriously, I know there's people that are doing some things with a lawsuit. Okay, we're not part of that. Okay, that's a sideshow. That's something that goes on here. It's a sad thing. It's a sad day for Mesa that we even had this kind of thing in the first place. Okay, and now to have enough evidence to where you know it appears that what the judge said on Monday is very true, and you know. That's one of the reasons why I'm running. We've got to get past all these sideshows.
Well, do you think she's a sham candidate?
You'd have to ask her that question.
No, I'm asking you. Do you think that she is a diversionary candidate?
You know, the diversionary candidate, it certainly looks like the evidence points to this is what they were doing.
Could you expand on your comments about Arizona being like 1964 Alabama?
Well, every day as I talk with people in our state, they talk to me about their friends out of the country, out of the state. When they talk about our image, they say, gosh, you guys hate Mexicans. You don't like people of color. And they have to defend themselves. A lot of people that I know have stopped telling people they're from Arizona. When they go out of town, they don't want to admit that they're from Arizona because they don't want to have to defend themselves, okay? And it looks like in a 21st century time when we've been through all these wonderful, wonderful battles to recognize that all people are created equal, we're back at a standard of we have a subclass of individuals here that we're treating in a different way than we are everybody else. And that's having a terrible impact on our economy. We need to focus on what is good for our economy, and part of that is changing the image that is currently being seen in Arizona. I believe in an approach where we get everybody together to solve problems. We don't ostracize a group or an individual from the discussion. it's great when people disagree because as we disagree, we understand more how best to fix problems. And I'm all about bringing people together to fix problems and bring real solutions to Arizona and to Mesa.
Sir,
do you think
you're
that's
both
something?
you're both LDS.
That's correct.
And is there a difference in terms of your the way you interpret your religion, especially on the immigration issue?
I don't know because what I see and so forth doesn't necessarily agree with what I see.
I don't understand that.
I believe that we need to approach this from the humanistic standpoint. We need to consider what this is doing, what immigration does to families. We need to make sure that people have a way to square themselves with the law, okay? And maybe that means paying penalties or doing something else so that they can be here, do the job that they are here to do, and then go back when they want to. Right now, there's 12.5 million or so individuals that are stuck here. They can't go back for fear of coming back and through difficult borders and whatnot. I believe that we need to look at it from all standpoints. The rule of law, national security, what does this do to families? What is this doing to our economy? It's killed us. We need to look at all aspects of this and have a civil discussion about it.
So are you more in alignment with the church's formal position than
Well, I hope I'm in line with that position because I believe, whether it's from my church or any other churches as well that have a similar viewpoint, I ascribe to all the churches' viewpoints on this. I think we've got an issue, but when you have issues, you work together to solve those issues in a way that you really do solve it once and for all.
So just to be clear, you do think you're more in alignment with the
I can't speak for him. I'm comfortable with myself in saying that I feel that my values, okay, are in line with what I see from the faith-based groups. Faith-based groups inform my decisions; they don't dictate them.
Well, let me
including
ask
the
you.
LDS Church.
Including the LDS Church.
Well, let me ask you. Do you think Mr. Pearce's position on illegal immigration is at odds with your church's recent statement?
I didn't say that.
No, I'm asking you if you think you do. Do you think that Mr. Pearce's statement, his approach to illegal immigration, is at odds with your church's statement?
Well, I think, again, the church's statement talks about a rule of law only approach will typically not bring about the results you want, okay? I believe we need to look at all the aspects, okay? And if that's not in line with the church's statement, then perhaps that's the case. But you'd have to ask him that question.
Well, do you think 1070, for example, is in line with the church's statement?
Well, again, it only addresses one issue, and the church is looking at all aspects of the issue.